Hi, and welcome back to Thone's Nibbles number 130, covering Romans chapter 13, being subject to earthly rulers. And this is an important thing in today's world. It comes from chapter 13, verses 1 through 4. Let every soul be subject to the governing authorities, for there is no authority except from God, and the authorities that exist are appointed by God. Therefore, whoever resists the authority resists the ordinance of God, and those who resist will bring judgment on themselves. For rulers are not a terror to do good works, but do evil. Do you want to be unafraid of the authority? Then do what is good, and you will have praise from the same. For he is God's minister to you for good. But if you do evil, be afraid, for he does not bear the sword in vain, for he is God's minister, an avenger to execute wrath on him who practices evil. Okay. This is probably, in my mind, one of the more germane things about the world that we have to teach right now in the world as it exists today. Why is it in the Bible? To clarify our relationship with earthly rulers. And it's written to all believers. And the communications. All authority comes from God. And we can't forget that. That's the key to everything. So the application to my life, we are to be good citizens, obeying the law, paying taxes, and being as cooperative with our rulers as possible. Only disobeying when asked to disobey God's specific word. And I think we need to underline specific about 10 times there. Rulers are given their authority by God, and with His authority they rule. God tells me, obey man's law if it does not clearly conflict with my rule. My personal response to this, Lord, let us all be led by your word and make obedience to the rule of law a strong habit. Thus, we should lead a peaceful, under control life, for this is your stated reason for creating government and rulers. You remember that? That this is mentioned many times in many testaments, is that the reason that there is a government and rulers is to give us a peaceful life, so that we don't have to be fearful for ourselves or for our loved ones, that so long as we do the right thing, and the right thing in this case goes beyond what, the 10 Commandments plus all the other laws, Jewish laws. It is the laws made by the governments of man as well. Those are laws because those laws, just like God's laws, because those laws are made under the authority of God to human beings. Therefore, and this is the kind of hard to swallow, it doesn't matter what party a particular political person is from. If they are currently in office, then they are ordained by God to make laws. Also, In our economic system, there are people in charge. There is a Federal Reserve Chairman. There's a Secretary of the Treasury. There is the various agencies which control the stock exchange, which control the insurance industry, which control the pharmaceutical industry, and so on. And this is where this word specific becomes particularly good. If it doesn't conflict with the specifics that God has written, that is, thou shalt not kill, thou shalt not steal, all those things, the specific things that He has banned, or in the opposite of banned, He has given strength to do. If these do not conflict, if the laws of man do not conflict with them, then we are to obey those laws. Now, as we know, at least in this country, the political system is such that, if you dislike a particular law espoused by a person who represents you, you can vote against them in the next election, and that is, the point is, in our system, the people who hold the anointing of God vary. In the House of Representatives, they can vary every 2 years. In the Senate, they can vary every 6 years. In the presidency, every 4 years. And even in the, beyond the executive and legislative branches, the only people who have somewhat long-term authority are the Supreme Court justices, who are appointed for life, although most of them resign before that time happens. Just a few days ago, there was a Supreme Court justice who said that he was going to resign to spend more time with his family and tend to his health after this current Supreme Court term is over. So then the President will start submitting new names to the Senate to approve a new Supreme Court justice when that happens. But the fact is that these are anointed people of God, and it doesn't matter if they are Muslims, it doesn't matter if they're Catholics or Protestants or Baptists or Jews, and I think all of those are represented within a large federal government the size of ours. And in fact, probably within each chamber of the legislature. So the fact is, they are anointed, just as Nebuchadnezzar was anointed by God. I mean, it doesn't matter. Their religious beliefs don't matter. They are given the authority by God. So, with that said, and my heart feels better now, we'll see you next